Sick. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode here of our Face the Facts Bay State Sports Pod joint coming together discussion of how all things in the state of the Boston Red Sox are going. I am Nick. We have Mr. Hawaiian Brendan with his Pavakwa. I think that's what they call those on. Brendan?
Yeah. Nick,
welcome in.
It is margarita.
I hope you didn't get a coconut off the head.
Nope, no coconuts off the head, but I have my Margaritaville Red Sox shirt. I mean, that's just perfect for me. I'll be honest. No one likes margaritas like me. But no margaritas for me today. We got work to do. Boston Red Sox coming off a 2-2 split in Camden Yards. Now you're down at Minute Maid Park for a high stakes 3-game series with the Houston Astros. I remember we were here this time last year, Nick, and we said our goodbyes to the Red Sox and their season. This is where it died. Will they survive this time around? I mean, you're 3.5 out of the wild card behind the Kansas City Royals. They have a tough schedule coming up, but not as tough as you. I mean, this series right here is do or die for the Red Sox. You've got to take 2 at least.
It was a Splitsville, USA, this weekend against the Orioles. The Red Sox 1-2, the Orioles 1-2. The biggest takeaway for me on this Red Sox team has to do with consistency. And from watching what we saw, we had the Rangers earlier this week, and then you have, the Orioles, which is a big series. I'm happy that they split, but It should have been better. It really should have been. I'm getting really frustrated with the lack of fine detail put in by some of these players, specifically the pitchers. Let's be real. I want to be real. I don't want to just go out there and say, I think that this team has everything it takes to get to the wild card, because I don't. I don't believe, because the pitching staff is horrible. This starting pitching since the All-Star break is dead last in the league with the amount of runs given up, the amount of home runs allowed. It is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And I don't know if I want to blame Breslow fully for this. I don't know what to do on this, because you have guys breaking down left and right. The only thing that you've been able to see that's gotten a little bit better since this second half has actually been Brian Bayo. Amazingly to say that. Now, it's not like he's blowing the world on fire by any means. He's been better. Baby steps. But when it comes to your Cutter Crawfords, when it comes to your Tanner Houcks, when it comes to your Nick Pavettas, I don't know what to think anymore, Brendan, because if this is what your postseason's going to be like, they're done. Let's just be completely honest here. Their arms are about to fall off because they have not gone through a full season of baseball. They are a brittle-boned, broken down bunch of guys, as you always say, that have overachieved to start right now. So is the glass empty? I don't know if it's empty. I know it's broken. It's the matter of, can those broken pieces be put back together and make this team somewhat into competition base, or somewhat into a winning sphere here, to see if this team can actually get the wild card. Because right now you're sitting 3.5 games back, and I talked to you off camera here a little bit. The Kansas City Royals are a better baseball team than you are. They are. And they have some great young talent. Red Sox do have some talent as well. But I am scared to death of our pitching staff right now. Starting pitching, bullpen, you got nothing.
We talked about it during the offseason. There were arms available, and there were multiple arms that you didn't have to pay the Yamamoto crazy contract. There were guys like Seth Lugo that didn't get crazy money, that Imanaga, guys you could have spent a little bit extra on, but they were all in on the stupid freaking Giolito Whitlock rotation here, and it fell off a cliff as soon as it started, which is just mind-boggling that they were willing to go down that road. I mean, you saw at one point or another, someone would start rising, the other would start falling. Brian Bayo, he's turned a new leaf here in the second half, but Cutter Crawford, on the other hand, has fallen off a cliff. And this series right here, last time you had the Houston Astros at home, you were pants. You got absolutely exposed trying to switch the matchups all game long. Let me throw 5 pinch hitters at you versus the Houston Astros, where let me just throw up Yordan Alvarez. It doesn't matter what the matchup is. He's going to destroy you. Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, just these mega stars. Kyle Tucker, they have them all, and they're not afraid of any matchup. Whereas the Red Sox are like, let me try Cam Boozer here. Let me try Zach Kelly and all this stupid nonsense. It does not work when you play an outfit as polished as the Houston Astros. So I'm worried. I'm worried for this 3-game series. It is massive stakes for the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say the biggest takeaway from me, I don't know if it was the Friday night game or the Saturday night game, when it was like 12-10 or something like that for a score.
Yeah, totally.
Most nights, the Red Sox offense will be able to get you 6-7 runs. They've been very good, specifically against right-handed pitching, specifically. Yep. And that has been what, in my opinion, on why this team is even anywhere near contention to be around a wild card berth, is because the offense, when it's right-handed pitching, has been very good and very consistent from start to finish. Whether it's Rob Refsnyder jumping in and finding something to do, whether it's Wilyer Abreu coming through in some sort of thing, whether it's Jarren Duran, coming through on big hits. Their flaw is that these guys that are in your everyday quote unquote starters, go back to Jarren Duran. When a left-handed pitching's there, he goes inside of his shell and becomes a snail. That's what he is. Wilyer Abreu cannot hit left-handed pitching. Devers, hit or miss depending on the night. What's our first base? Casas. We don't even know what he's going to be able to do. He's back. That's helpful, but you don't know what's going to happen with that. You just don't. That's where it gets nerve-wracking, to say the least, on what the end result of this team is going to be.
And really, you can't bear a single game here in the tail end of this stretch. And I'm telling you, the 7-4 lead that you had in Game 3 of the Texas Rangers series going into the 9th inning, to blow that game might be the nail. I mean, instead of 3.5, you'd be 2.5, and you might be able to spare going 1-2 in this series, staying competitive, because Kansas City has a really tough schedule coming up between Philadelphia. They got New York. They have a lot of competition over there. It's not a cakewalk for you, but it's a little easier. I think that gagging job by Josh Winkowski and Zach Kelly at the tail end of the Rangers series, from a sweep to a 2-1 victory at home,
to a split Wednesday game, that
could kill you. That's why the urgency on this Astros series is so huge, because if you lose the series 1-2 here, or God forbid you get swept like the last time around here, you're out. You're done. I don't care if you have Detroit and Toronto and Chicago. You're going to have to make up a 4.5 game deficit. Kansas City's not going to let that fly. If they somehow choke a 4.5 game lead here down the stretch, they don't deserve it. You know what I mean?
Alex Cora's had a pretty good season managing. Obviously, it resulted in the big extension and everything from what we've seen. And he's been a pretty good master with pinch hitting and finding the right spot for most of these guys to come into. But when it comes to pitching, I don't think I can blame him fully, but I think one of the things that I could define this season is inept. This starting pitching staff is inept, because at some point they're going to surprise you. At other times, you're going to fall off a cliff. Now, I thought Wednesday in particular was the game that did it in for me, much like you just said here. You have to go into these games knowing ahead of time who's available on your bench, who's available in your bullpen, who has to have a night off. It's getting prepared and being able to make the moves when the going gets tough. And that whole fiasco that happened Wednesday night was horrendous. It was horrendous from the managerial staff. It was horrendous from the pitching staff to see what we all witnessed, an absolute collapse, which never should have happened. So going into this game, you knew point blank that Kenley Jansen was not going to be available. That to me triggers, okay, if Kenley's not available, who is my next guy I'm going to throw? And I think you know the answer to this. I'm going to go out and say it. It should have been in the ninth, Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Why Chris Martin can only throw 4 pitches in an 8th inning is beside me. I can't figure that out. Don't tell me a 38, 37-year-old major league pitcher can only throw 4 pitches even after coming back from an injury. Don't tell me he can't go out there and go and pitch another 15, 16 pitches to close the game. Don't tell me that. Shameful managing, shameful preparation, and that could very well be the nail in the coffin right there from what you witnessed there. Because you went to Josh Winkowski, and he gave up the game-tying home run, 3-run bomb after 2 outs and 2 strikes. It was atrocious. And then Zach Kelly, who I don't understand why some of you fans out there think this guy is the next Jonathan Papelbon. Get over yourself. The guy can't even pick up a suitcase at the airport. It's awful.
I don't understand that part, but no,
it's like a lost soul. It's like picking up a lost suitcase at the. Is this yours? I don't know.
I just don't know how if that was the plan.
Horrible. I'm still mad.
I just don't know how that was the plan. I understand Jansen's gone like 2 in a row. Can't get for the 3rd night, whatever. But if Martin's the guy now, how are you only going to put him in for this one at bat? I don't understand it. You have the whole 9th inning coming up with the top of the Kansas City lineup. I mean, I don't understand it. I know it's high leverage, but you got to figure this out. You got to put in another high leverage guy.
I was so mad. I'm still mad. There's no reason why Chris Martin was not in there Wednesday night to get that win and to shut the damn door on a sweep. None. I don't care what Cora says. I don't care what management says. I don't care what the team says. They screwed the pooch on that very badly. And then you had to take your long trip to Baltimore to face the Orioles. Who knows? Maybe if they did get the sweep, it could have resulted in maybe the Red Sox taking 3 or 4 or sweeping them. Who knows?
Yeah. I'd say the one bright spot that they have right now is Liam Hendricks is finally coming back. I think maybe next week or this week. That hopefully will be some bullpen depth that they need.
You're just a breath of fresh air, huh? You're just the breath of fresh air. I think it's going to be. It's great, but too little, too late, in my opinion, because I think they want him to throw at least 10 games for Worcester. I just don't see how it can be even logical to process this if you're in the middle of a potential playoff chase here. I think it might be done. You need him now is what you need him for. Because I'm scared to death going into tonight. I'm so scared I haven't even turned the game on right now. Who knows what it could be right now? I don't even want to know.
That's true.
But you need tonight Tanner Houck. He better be the Hulk. That's what he better be. He better lock this down for 6 or 7. Because if you're going to a Kelly, if you're going to Bernardino, if you're going to Luis Garcia, who would struggle working for probably McDonald's, flipping burgers. Garcia. If you go to any of them, you're done. Lucas Sims, I've at least gained a little bit of trust with. I'm not fully there, but I'm getting there. Martin, I fully trust. And then Kenley Jansen has been excellent this season. People can criticize him all they want. Without him, you aren't even in the conversation right now being in a race. So that's positives that are there. Outside of those three in the bullpen, I got nothing. I don't know about you.
No, I mean, like,
I got more faith in myself going out there.
They're taking flyers on, like, you know, Bailey Horn and, like, all these guys that you've never heard of. Rich Hill, one that you've heard of. I mean,
that's how bad you are. That's how desperate. I heard he was on the 50 cents rack at the dollar store last week. That's why they signed him. 50 cents on the dollar.
Crazy.
Bargains by the bagful. Sam Kennedy's favorite thing in the world.
Honestly, it's embarrassing, really. But
you got 45-year-old Rich Hill. This is no knock on him. He's had a nice major league career and everything like that. But when you're that cheap and you're that pathetic, when you have to go that end, at this point, why don't you just pick up the phone and call Roger Clemens? Go ask Pedro. Pedro, you want to go throw? What's Derek Lowe up to? Maybe Mike Timlin in Colorado is going to come in and save the day. I heard Koji's available in Japan. Get him back here. I'll take him at 70 years old. Who the hell cares? At least they're quality names.
No, it's wild. It's wild what the bullpen has devolved into. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, the Sox, here we are. 3-game series against the Houston Astros. I would say make or break, Nick. I mean, I think
it has to be.
If it's not 2 or 3, we'll be having another funeral.
You know that old phrase with the roller coaster? You know, when you go over, like if you're ever on what's the one at Six Flags, the Spider-Man or whatever the heck it is, when you go over that. I'm not a big roller coaster guy. I'm just not. I'm just saying for people that have been on the speed of lightning, whatever it's called. I think they're going to get lost inside the tunnel this weekend on the roller coaster is what I think is going to happen. Well, this week, excuse me.
Houston's going to play it. They're going to play fast and they're going to play well. So it's up to us to come. It's going to be like 10-run games. I'm telling you, that's the only way they have a chance.
You think so? See, I think we could see something like a 10-1, 10-2. I could see it being turtle time in Houston.
There's a possibility the team just totally craps their pants.
See it. Yeah, I think it will be turtle time.
I think if
you go and hide in your shell and you get your blanket, you cry your sorrows away and say, "Oh well, we tried hard, but we're just not good enough."
Your only shot is your bats. That's your only shot. You gotta hit.
I agree with that.
Ball against these guys because your pitching is frail. It's frail, and hopefully Tanner can give you a night. He's got to give you 7 minimum. Minimum 7.
So it goes Tanner Houck is tonight. I believe tomorrow is Pavetta. No,
Lost.
and then that is Cooper Criswell is Wednesday. Trying to say that with a straight face. Sorry if I'm smiling. I'm smiling in disgust.
You need the bats. You need your best hitting stretch of all time. Jeez. We'll see, Nick. Buckle up, everybody. Buckle up.
On the positive, like we said, Tristan Casas is back. We got that going. Rich Hill's coming.
He's on the
whether you like it or not, he's coming. Get ready for that. That's what we got right now. If they make it, I highly suggest you all run down to your local convenience store and grab a scratch ticket, nice lottery ticket, because it's going to take one of those ends to this season to get it all together. But we'll see. We only call it as we see. Hopefully we're wrong and we look like idiots.
Please, honestly, let's have a season. Let's finish strong. Come on.
So it's 3 against Houston, day off Thursday, and then it's Arizona back at Fenway. So that's the outlook for the week. And then the following week, remember, you got 5 games against the Blue Jays. 5, Monday through Thursday with the doubleheader on Monday. And then after that, I believe it's not the Mets. It is the Detroit Tigers when you go to Comerica. So that's the outlook for the rest of the month. Any final thoughts before we go and watch? Hopefully something good tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just praying to take 2. Praying. I don't know if we can do it, but we got to try.
Try. Let's see how it goes. Not cry. We're going to try.
You know?
All right. That's going to do it here for another episode of our Face the Facts Bay State Sports Pod. As always, subscribe, hit that button there on YouTube. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your animals, all that kind of stuff. You know how it goes. And make sure you also watch us and tweet with us on Twitter X as well. We're there to respond and call it as we see. We'll see you again for another show. Good luck, Red Sox. You're going to need it.